You know, Robert, I love being in the green room. I love being behind the scenes, having these personal, private, intimate type of conversations, by the way. And you've got a long bio there, and people will read that stuff later. But tell me a little bit about who is Robert Riopel. Did I get that right this time?
Riopel. Think
Riopel.
of
Rio
Rhodesian.
Riopel. Did I get it right?
You got
Okay,
it.
Riopel. I've been practicing, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to get better. Riopel, who are you and what are you up to, my friend?
Well, Shay, first of all, thanks for having me on this show because, especially in this time in the world, being able to still reach out and touch people, that's what's, the best thing that we can do. So me, I come from a very limited mindset background. I live in Alberta, in Canada, in a small community where, we don't really think necessarily outside of the community. And so I'm a person that was taught as a child to find a job that pays you well and has security. Doesn't matter whether you like it or not, just find that job. And that's what I did. But thank goodness, that didn't be the way I lived because I realized there's more to the world. And so I'm a person who loves to help people tap into their true passion, pull it out and learn how to be able to live what they love and make money doing it. And so, especially in this time, I'm really tapping out and getting to people any way we can to let them know that just because you're at home doesn't mean you can't still live what you love. There's more than one way to do things. So that's kind of a little bit of who I am, and my passions in life is just sheer helping and being of service.
I love that. Tell us a little about what we can expect on this particular episode. I know folks are looking at it and saying success, and they're thinking, "Oh my gosh, not another topic on success." Why is it important now more than ever to kind of have a conversation around how to unlock your potential and unlock your success?
Well, and it's not just about success and here's kind of my different spin on it. The title of my new book coming up is The Authority Key: How to Unlock and Open the Door to Success. And both unlock and open are acronyms. And the part that I'm really going to dive into with people and I want to talk about today is the open. There's actually 4 different energies that people are going through all the time, day to day. And one of those energies is what the world has put us in right now. And the name of it is chaos. And what people don't realize is chaos is actually natural. And if you embrace it, you can actually flow through it. But most people, they don't like chaos, so they try to resist it. And that's when their life gets hit even harder and it holds them back. So today I want to really show people that chaos is something that's natural and that together we can actually flow through it so that you can get through to the next part and come out shining from this experience.
I love it. Talk a little about the importance of Dr. Bowen is one of the ones that connected you and I together. Talk about the importance right now of collaborating. There's a number of folks out there that says, gee whiz, they have a scarcity mindset. They want to hold their little group and their little crowd over here and not really kind of cross-pollinate and share resources. Why is collaboration now more important than ever?
Well, Shay, it's something I've believed in for years. It's not about competition. Mm-hmm. It's about what you just said, collaboration. And especially in this time, because, you and I are blessed. Not only are we aerodynamic.
I love it.
We're blessed because we have a more of an upbeat mindset about the positive things, what's possible. But right now, how many people are locked in their homes? And even if they're not alone, maybe they have family members. They're feeling alone. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, locked in here, and they're going to a depressed mode because they're thinking about what's wrong, what's going to go wrong, how they've lost their job or they have no income. And so now, even more important than any other time, is a time to collaborate and say, how can we help more people together? So when Dr. Bowen said, there's this amazing gentleman, Shay Brown, who, I just did an interview with him and he'd love to have you on a show. It was an instant yes, because you want to surround yourself with people who are like-minded. Remember what they say, your income will be the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And most people, they're maybe at the top of that 5. And so if you stay in the same kind of groups, thinking I just have to hang on to who I have, you're actually holding yourself back. But when you sit there and you say, how can I share with more people? How can I not have that limited lack mentality. Because the universe is abundant. Deepak Chopra says that spiritual people, especially, they think they're very connected. But he says, if you believe the universe is abundant, but you're not, how connected are you truly? And so it's easy to say it, but it's tough to practice it for a lot of people. And so it's about abundance. So me and Dr. Obam, it's about we have friendly competitions, but it's about competition of how do we get ourselves out to more people and each other. Because I know the more I refer him, the more I refer, I've been blessed to share the stage with some of the top trainers and presenters and thought leaders in the world. And when we have conversations in the green room like you and I are having right now, that's when the real magic happens. Because it's about just taking our combination of their sphere, my sphere, and seeing what we can do together. And that's where the real magic happens, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man, that makes a lot of sense. I love it. I love where your heart is. You have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. We're out there. Doran, I see you out there. Cheryl, Diane, thanks for joining. Margaret, it is always a pleasure. Trinette, and so many of you are tuning in right now. We got to get going. I love being behind the scenes, man. That's where the magic happens, as you said. But we got a show to get going. I got to get going, you guys, in 5. This is the only thing I get to do. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's my favorite part. It's showtime. Can't wait to really get started. We'll be back in just a minute. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. Yeah.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And I believe you have 3 visions right now. I believe first, you have a vision for yourself. The way you want to live, the clothes you want to wear, the food you want to eat. And you know what? Well, Robert's going to help with those resources today. Some of you have a vision for your loved ones. I love hanging out with Mother Dear. I love being able to order the groceries, have them delivered to her house, especially now because she won't let me in. But I also love being able to support her. And some of you want to send your kids to a school of your choice. You want to write a check for someone else's healthcare insurance. You want to help someone financially during these times. It takes resources, which means it takes money. And then others of you out there, I believe you have a vision. This is the third vision for the people you were called to serve. And imagine for a moment, and I happen to be a believer. You might not be a believer. You don't have to be one. But there's a guy named Noah. And imagine Noah's in the Bible. And Noah decides he has a vision given to him, much bigger than him. And he shows up and they say, Noah. He says, what? There's no hammers. What? No resources. Wait. Noah, there's no nails. Huh? Oh my gosh. Noah, there's no wood or no people to put the boat together. And that might be you right now. Maybe you got everything you need, but you need resources. So I want you to tune in because Robert's going to help us do that. So Robert, welcome to the show. How are you, my man?
Shay, any better and I'd be twins, and the world cannot handle that.
Well, we could be twins. You and I might be the twins, but we're close. Come on now. Look, let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I love doing that right away. You're saying open and unlock your way to success. Talk about what that means. And you were talking in agreement about there's 4 different pillars to this whole thing around success. I know it's coming up in your upcoming book and so forth, but talk about number 1, success, what the difference between unlock and open, and maybe what you're referring to about 4 different stages that we go through.
Yeah, and look, here's the thing, Shay. Success to me, as an example, is not just this. See, money is only one thing, but money without meaning is empty. They say money doesn't buy happiness, Some people might say, well, the shopping it allows you to do sure does. But that's just part of it. See, we are very holistic beings, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. And you have to have all of those working together to have true success. So when I talk about success, people will think, oh, money success, yay. That's marketing. That'll bring them in. But once I get to be able to talk to them about what true success is, having the great relationships in your life, having that health, having connections with Mother Earth, with others around you, and, having a lot of this. Because money is just a tool. And I love the example of what Bill and Melinda Gates are doing, getting all these multi-millionaires and billionaires to commit half of their wealth to charity and over their lifetime. That's brilliant because that's a tool that can help more people. And so to me, success has got to be all around. And the other part of it is, so the 4 things I've been talking about is that we're always going through a cycle. We have our ups, we have our downs, we have our ups. That's life. Life does not travel in a straight line. There's no such thing. There's always frequencies and vibrations. Everything on this planet is one thing, which is energy. And so when you look at your life cycle, there's 4 specific energies people are always going through. Okay. And we use the acronym OPEN. The one phase is called observation. In other words, this is the time where you're looking for something new. This is the time where you create dream boards. This is the time where you dream big. And think of it like this, Shay. I don't, because we've just met. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Happily married. Happily. Just to let you know, happily married.
Nice. And I'm glad you brought that up because 2 most important words in a relationship, yes, dear.
Thanks. Teach me, man. Teach me. I love it.
Well, in just 2 months, my wife and I celebrate our 31st wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
To me, relationships are important. And, we met when we were 13. We started dating when we were 16. We got married when we were 19. Wow. And so now we're coming up on our 31st anniversary. And she's the reason I am who I am today. Mm-hmm. Because kind of going back to what we were talking about in the green room, and I'm going to kind of go sideways a bit here. If it was left to me, I would be comfortably miserable in a job right now. Because I was taught as a child to get something that was secure and that paid you money, whether you liked it or not. And I was never taught to think outside the box. It was like, this is the way it is. Don't even think of going different. But one of the amazing gifts that my wife gives me is she will not let me play smaller than I am. She will not let me play the smaller game. And even if she has to kick my butt to say, step up, even if I resist, she's there to hold me to that higher standard. And that's a gift I now give her as well because that's a relationship. So I look back and she doesn't like it when I say it on stage that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her. But it's so true because I would be miserable in a job, but I'd be comfortable. And so when you're in the observation phase, I want you to go back to when you first met your wife. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when you first met her?
Yes, high school, yes.
Yeah, you wanted to know everything about her. True?
Yes, so true.
That's the observation phase. Mm-hmm. This is where you want to learn. You want to be there. You want to, what is she like? What does she not like? What's the best way to get her to get to get her attention? So the observation phase, this is where, again, set your big dreams, set your big goals, even if you don't know how they're going to work out. Because then the next phase is called, and this is the P, it is called the Pamper Phase.
Ooh, pamper.
And for when most people, they get success, the reason they lose it is because they try to skip through this phase. This is the time when it's time to take care of you. Mm-hmm. Book a trip. Go to the spa. Take care of yourself. Allow yourself to be pampered, relax, enjoy. Think of it like recharging the energy cells inside of you. Because you know what it's like to go hard, hard, hard. If you don't take care of yourself, you're going to get burnt out. And I'll be very clear on this, Shay. I learned these not just by reading what someone said. It sounds good. I think it'll work. I learned it through going through it myself. Mm-hmm. When I started training from 2004 to mid-2008, I was doing 40 to 50 full-on live trainings, 3 to 5 day trainings, 12 hours a day on stage each day I was doing 40 to 50 of these a year.
Wow.
I ended up being in front of over 200,000 people around North America alone, plus then open to Asia. And I got burnt out because I forgot to take care of me. And have you ever had one of those times in your life, Shay, where you forgot to take care of you?
Absolutely. On more than one occasion, by the way.
Yeah. And so I ended up deciding to take a year off because I was burnt out. But that 1 year turned into 3.5 years because I was so burnt out. I went through 2 back surgeries because I hadn't been taking care of myself on stage. So I herniated a disc. I got the surgery finally, felt so good. I didn't listen to the doctor. I re-herniated again 3 weeks later. Wow. Let me give your viewers some advice. If the doctor tells you to do something, do it. Do it. So the pamper phase is what most entrepreneurs forget to do. And this is so critical. And it doesn't always have to be going on a big trip. It could be something as simple as, you know what? I'm going to take this afternoon off. I'm going to get together with my family, and we're going to just spend time together. They could be that simple. And, people, they worry about success, Shay. They say, well, I don't want to be more successful because my family will pay the price. Well, here's my advice. It's about quality, not quantity. And I'm going to, again, bring it back to you, Shay. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone where you're there physically talking to them, but you can tell they're checked out, they're somewhere else?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a miserable feeling.
Yeah. And people think that it's about the quantity of time that they spend. Well, I spend as much time with my family as I can. Okay, but are you truly there with them? I never used to believe in things like meditation. And I did a 4-day Zen retreat with a Zen master, 4 days of silence. And being a kind of a speaker yourself, can you imagine us not speaking for 4 days?
No.
Right? My wife said it was one of her favorite times in our relationship. But in that time, we're in the space to be able to meditate. But my frustration was, when I go home, I can't sit there for 20 minutes and go, oh, it's just not me. So at night, we were able to ask our Zen teacher questions, and one of the women voiced a question I had. She said, Sherry, when I'm home, I can't take this time to meditate. It's not me. How do I do that? And my Zen teacher's answer was brilliant. She said, meditation is being present. So meaning, if you're in your car and you're driving, and you're actually present to what you're doing, you don't have the music cranked up, you're not eating, you're not talking to someone, you're not trying to put on makeup, you're truly present, you're meditating. If you're having a conversation, so like right now, you and I, Shay, we're having a conversation. I'm fully present with you. I'm aware of everything else that's going on around me, but because I'm present with you, I'm meditating. And so this became a practice that when I connect with people, I want them to feel that I'm with them, that I'm not somewhere else. And if you spend that kind of quality time with your friends and family, they will take a few minutes of quality time over hours of quantity time where you're not truly checked in. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and so, because I travel all over the world, my wife's not always with me. And that's where I like FaceTime. Because we can be in a 5-minute conversation for the whole day. But because we're truly present with each other, it's a deep connection. And we have a little trick that we use that if either of us notices the other person drifting, our mind going somewhere else, we just simply say, come back to me. And that's our cue to be present again. So the pamper phase is important to be able to have those quality connections. The E stands for energy. This is when it's time to get stuff done. Create documents, do meetings, put into action all the plans that you need to do. This is where you boom your business. This is where you make sure that all the plans you've laid out, now you put them into action, you put the energy behind it, you go, 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 go. Because this is where you're going to be the most productive, and your productivity is actually going to pay dividends. Because if you're trying to be too productive in the observation phase or the pamper phase, this is where you get distracted easily. This is where you don't feel like it. This is where you get burnt out. This is where you get frustrated. But when you put it in the energy phase, watch your results go through the roof. Make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
And then the N is the second letter of the word, but is unclutter. Unclutter. This is chaos. See, the universe is going to come in chaos, and that's where we are right now. People around this world have been resisting too much, not taking care of the planet, not taking care of themselves. So the universe came in and said, you know what? I'm going to put chaos into you. And the unclutter phase, the reason I call it that is because this is the time to destroy something. This is the time to let something go. So let me be very clear. There are relationships that need to be separated from, personal or professional, business or personal. So this is the time to end a relationship that's not been serving. This is the time to go and clean out your closet that has been cluttered for so long. This is the time because, think of it. Have you ever wanted a brand new vehicle, Shane?
Every day I go buy a new vehicle, I buy a new plane, like every day in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want one.
Before you can get what you truly want, you have to let go of what you already have of. So until you can upgrade your car, you got to get rid of the old car.
Yes.
That's why they do trade-ins. But until you mentally, emotionally, and physically say, you know what, I'm ready to now let it go, you're going to create the reality where you'll never get to the next level. My wife and I, because we have a very unique pet. We have a pet pig.
A pet pig?
Yes. Now, to be clear, she doesn't know she's a pig. She thinks she's a dog.
Okay.
And she's a princess. She's an indoor girl. We've had her since she was 2 days old. She was this big. She's now 265 pounds. She's a big girl. And because of her, we take her everywhere. She's a princess. She travels with us everywhere. So I wanted to get an SUV as one of our vehicles. And my wife said, no, we got to think practical. We need something that's low enough that the ramp can get her in. She can walk into the back. So we got a minivan. And we had the minivan for 3 years. And I started looking at Jeep Grand Cherokees. I wanted a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Because as an adult pig, she's now 9.5 years old, she sleeps most of the day. So we have a beautiful acreage. So we don't travel with her as much anymore. So I said, honey, it's time to get an SUV. And she was so attached to the minivan, she didn't want to let go to get the Grand Cherokee. But then the day that we went and looked, and she made the decision, all of a sudden the right Grand Cherokee showed up. We made the deal. 3 days later, our minivan was traded in, and we had our new vehicle. Because until she was willing to let go of the good to get great, we couldn't move forward. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
And so, especially in this time right now, you've got a lot of chaos coming at people. And so this is the time while we're isolated to look at your life and say, what has not been working in my life, and how do I now make some adjustments, let go of the good to get great, be willing to let go of the great to get phenomenal. 99% of my regular daily cash flow comes from live events. I travel around the world 6 months out of the year, and I take 6 months a year at home. Imagine I just got back from India 3 weeks ago, just as lockdown came in, and all of a sudden they started canceling all my live events. I could have sat there and went, oh crap, why me? Or I could have sat there and said, okay, what needs to be changed? And I realized for years I had been saying I wanted to do more online digital platform. Well, now I've got the time to learn it, do it, implement it. So I'm busier today at home than when I'm traveling around the world, because I refuse to just sit there and let the world rule me. I'm going to put into my own energy what I want to do. So I'm in a I'm kind of going quickly through, because I let something go, I unclutter, which puts me into the observation phase. I take some time with family, and then I get the energy done. And then I'm back into what's next to let go, next observation, take a little time with family, energy. And that's the cycle I'm going through very, very quickly. Some people, they'll go through it slow in their lives. Other times there will be times like rapid fire, boom, 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 boom. So when you understand the energies, it allows you to embrace it instead of resist it.
I love it, man. I love it. That is spot right on. We're talking to the one and only Robert. I didn't know he was going to do that, by the way. You guys probably just had a $5,000 session, by the way, from the man himself who broke it all down into 4 areas. Robert, what I like to do is we're going to come back in less than 2 minutes, and you're breaking it down. You're sharing it. You're spending so much time with us. We appreciate that. We come back. We're going to talk a little about today is my January 1st, and I want to talk about how you're helping businesses today, how you're helping entrepreneurs today, what you're doing even in this climate that's allowing you to still get your message, your expertise, and still change lives and businesses, even where we are today. That's what we're going to get to. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in less than 2 minutes. We're going to go over to Dr. Kenneth Thigpen. Dr. Kenneth Thigpen is down in Raleigh, North Carolina, and she says, make room to grow. Isn't that so true? Isn't he said you got to let something go? Now she says, make room to grow. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you hashtag Next Sister Up. I'm with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Make room to grow. You see, I have these beautiful plants behind me, and I have several others throughout the house. And there was this one plant that no matter what I did, it did not seem to grow. I put water in it, I put plant food in it, I put it by the window, away from the window, upstairs, downstairs, and nothing seemed to work. So I called my mom and said, Mom, what should I do? And she said, Kenneth, that plant has been in the same pot for at least 2 years. You need to repot it to give it more room to grow. Which made me think about us as individuals and in life and business. There are times where we have ourselves in this pot, in this little small bubble, playing small. In reality, we need to make room to grow. And so the first thing I want to share with you is that this might require us to change. And change is not bad. So it might require us to change some people, places, or even situations in our life. The second thing that comes to mind in order to make more room to grow is that it's time for us to have a greater impact. So let's make more room for greater impact. And we can do this by diversifying our offerings, leveraging platforms, partnering with other people to form strategic partnerships, or maybe just having new opportunities in general. And lastly, it's super important as we make room to grow is that we continue to grow personally. And so you might want to do this by either reading books, joining master classes, going to trainings, attending an online course, and just gaining more knowledge and experience. So I challenge you this week, make more room to grow. It's your girl, Dr. K. Make it a great day.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission to empower, to inspire, and to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all the resources that are necessary to execute the visions that you have for the people you were called to serve. And I'm here with Robert, and he's really breaking down something that's very, very important. It's not just about success. It's about unlocking and opening the keys to success, which I love. He has a book that's coming up. Can't wait till he tell you how every one of you can connect with him. Robert, one of our core values here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show is today is my January 1st. And today is my January 1st represents that moments. And there's many moments throughout the day where you make a decision, and that decision can forever change the trajectory of your life, right? So you either decide to go to the gym or you sit on the couch. You eat hamburgers and French fries, or you eat fruits and vegetables and kale and broccoli. And it's a big difference. So it's a do-over. It's a fresh start. It's your past doesn't equal your future. My question to you, Robert, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? What does it mean to you?
It's exactly what you've just been saying, Shay. And there's multiple of those days come in. And so, like, as an example, can I share you one of my January 1st days that changed my life?
Yes.
Okay. August 10th, 2010. See, and I remember the date so clearly because it changed my life. When I decided to step back and take a break because I was burnt out, I said I was going to take 1 year. And Shay, have you ever noticed that the universe sends you lessons? Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
And what happens if you don't pay attention to the lesson? What happens?
It sends you a bigger lesson to cost you a lot more time and money.
Exactly. So I had said, I'm going to take 1 year off. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 year came and it passed. And the universe started saying, Robert, you said you're going to give your gift again. You're going to start training again. I ignored it. I got comfortable. And so it started giving me more and more. And it was 2 years into my break when the universe gave me a lesson I could not ignore. Where I lived at the time, I was in a city called Calgary, Alberta. My mother and father-in-law, they live across the street, 7 doors up. And my mother-in-law called to say, can you help us with our TV? We're having a problem. So I said, no problem. Beautiful, gorgeous August day. I walk out, across from my house, beautiful playground, about 30 children in the playground. Walk up the street, help them out. I'm coming back down the sidewalk, and I'm about to walk across the street to my driveway when a couple comes walking along with a dog. And I'm an animal lover. So I asked them, I said, is she friendly? And they said, no, she's not. We just rescued her. We're rehabilitating her right now. So I stayed where I was on the sidewalk. They stayed in front of my driveway. We talked for a little while. And eventually I knelt down. And they slowly brought her over. And I let her smell my hand. And I was able to pet her head, pet her neck with no issue. All of a sudden, the issue happened when I went to stand up. And I don't know why, Shay, but she lunged for my throat.
Whoa.
And from standing up, luckily my head was down. So instead of getting my throat, she got my chin. She grabbed on and tried to drag me to the ground. And I'm in instant shock, and the only thought in my head is if she gets me to the ground, I'm done. So I stood up. She's now hanging off my chin. And the man who was walking her had to pry her jaws off of my chin. Now there's blood all over the place. And it's taking both of them to hold her back. She's lunging back at me. And now the only thought in my head is there's 30 kids in that park. I said, look, I live right there. Get her out of here. They drag her up the street. I walk across. Now there's blood all over. I'm walking up the door. And now the only thought in my head is, if I get blood in the house, my wife's going to kill me. It's funny what happens when you're in shock. I open the door. My wife comes running. She sees the blood. She gets a towel to my chin. And I'm now feeling taken care of. So I start to faint. I start to lose consciousness because now I'm safe. My wife's taking care of me. And she sees me starting to wobble. And she knows if I fall, she's going to not be able to get me to the vehicle and get me to the hospital. So she looks at me and she goes into what we call the warrior mode. Mm-hmm. She looks at me and she goes, "Don't you faint. Get to that car." And I'm like, "Yes, dear." And I go to the car. Now, if you know about dog wounds, they don't like to block up any punctures. They want any bacteria to be able to flow out. So under my goatee, there was 3 puncture wounds. So they just cleaned them up, let them be. But here on my chin, she had ripped through my chin. And it took 9 stitches to close that up. Now, in that moment, Shay, I had a choice. I could look at it and go, why did this happen to me? Mm-hmm. Or I could say, why did this happen to me? And all of a sudden, a principle I teach my students in one of my courses, a universal principle, says this: that which is not utilized is eliminated. See, I had a gift to share. Everybody listening to this program has a gift to share, whether you believe it or not. If you're still breathing, you have a gift to share. See, I wasn't sharing my gift, and 1 inch further would have got my jugular, and my gift in me would be gone. And in that moment, I made a decision that I had to train again. I haven't had to train since I was 32. I've been financially free. I had to train because it's my mission, my passion, what my gift is to the world. And on that day, that's when I decided I had to come out of retirement. And when you make a decision, have you ever noticed the universe will then bend over backwards? God will be there to support you in that decision. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes, absolutely.
2 weeks after me deciding that I was going to train again, the company I was contracting with called me and asked if I'd come out of retirement. And it was an easy yes. Now, because I'd gone through 2 back surgeries, it still took me 1.5 years to get my health where I needed to be to do what I do on stage, because I'm very high energy. And 12 hours a day on stage, I was not going to put my body through having another back surgery. So it took a full 1.5 years to fully come out of retirement. And that's now over 6 years ago, actually 8 years ago, I came out of retirement. And I will do this for the rest of my life because it's my passion.
I love that, man. Thanks a lot for sharing. Thanks for being authentic. I love what you're doing. How can people connect with you? Take a moment, because one of the things I admire about what you're doing is you're not only able to work with everyday entrepreneurs and business owners, but you also work in the corporate space. You also work with nonprofits. You put on mega events, but you also reach them through the power of these fiber optic lines like you are right now to folks that are all over the place. So number one, what type of clients do you work with or look to serve? And number 2, how can people best connect with Robert?
Yeah. Look, I love to deal with people. My mission in life, Shay, is to guide and assist individuals in identifying and living their purpose with passion. And so that means I love to work with people who just want to tap into their passion. And then I help them find ways that they can live it on a daily basis and actually make money doing what they love. I want them to wake up in the morning and go, I love my life. I'm ready to go. And so that means if it's a team that you have and you want them to understand how to come together as a team, those are the people I love to work with. Individuals who just, like with this energy right now of what's going on in the world, are frustrated. Love to work with them. And so the easiest way for people to connect with me is through my fan page on Facebook, and just type in Robert Riopel, so Riopel, Robert Riopel fan page. Like my fan page, I'm doing videos as I travel around the world. Right now, I'm just doing a lot of giving and serving videos from home, not charging people. If you're a business owner right now, are you connecting with your clients? Are you phoning them? Are you letting them know you're thinking of them? If they've got a service that you're delivering on, are you giving more without charging them more? See, a friend of mine and a mentor of mine said it like this: how you go into this pandemic is how you're going to go out of this pandemic. So if you're coming in fear, you're going to go out with fear, and you're going to struggle. But if you come in of being of service, you're going to notice that you're going out of it in that space of service. And because you've been of service, a lot of people are going to come looking and want to do business with you. So be of service right now. Give, and really be there to truly connect. I tell my students, I want you to connect with 3 people a day just to say, how are you doing? Because right now, a lot of people are stuck at home and they're not doing well. They just may need a conversation. So follow me on my fan page, and that's the easiest way to stay connected with me.
Robert Riopel, I appreciate what you're doing, man. You have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. He's making a difference. Everyone go over to Facebook and tell them how to spell your name again so they make sure they type it in right. Riopel. I got it so far. How do they get over there?
Yeah, RIOPELMOUSE. Oh, no, forget the MOUSE part. So RIO as in Rio de Janeiro, and then P as in Peter, EL. So Riopel.
Right. When we come back, I'm going to ask Robert to go ahead and close us out. I'm going to ask him if he'll give his final thoughts, his final comments. Those folks that are listening, he is correct. He never asked for a Cash App payment before we got started. He didn't ask for a Zelle payment. When I reached out to him through a mutual friend, Dr. Obam, he took the call and he said, how I can best serve. And, that means a lot. That really means a lot. So we thank you so much. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. He's going to close out, but everyone connect with him. And if you know an organization, if you know a network marketing company, if you know a nonprofit, if you know someone that's now doing virtual events, I highly suggest you at least reach out to Robert's office and see if he's available. He may be able to attend or give value to one of your virtual summits or webinars or master classes going on right now. This is his time to serve, and I believe him. Why? Because he's here right now. The proof is in the pudding. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. We're going to go over to Shawn Harper. Shawn Harper is a 7-time NFL football player, and he says the law of capacity is most important. And then Robert's going to close us out. As soon as we come back, I'm asking him how do you connect with him, and then give us his final thoughts to close us out. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Take it away, Shawn.
Hi, my name is Shawn Harper, motivational speaker, author, investor. I love investing in people because people has the potential of generating years of dividends. This is my January 1st. And as I'm moving in January 1st, I have to be mindful of the laws, the law of capacity. Now, if you know me, I break all the rules, but I never break laws. If you break laws, laws will break you. Laws are unchangeable. So the law of capacity is that you will grow in proportion to your environment. It reminds me of a story of a guy named Walt Disney. We all know Walt Disney, but Walt Disney started out after a couple failed ventures. He started out with Disneyland, south of Anaheim, California. And he had great success, but he had one challenge. He was landlocked. And so he couldn't expand. And so he secretly, anonymously, began to buy up land in the Orlando area. And he formed shell companies, and he brought 500 acres here, 100 acres here with this company, and maybe 2,000 acres with this company. And he went on, and a investigative journalist caught on to it, but not until he amassed over 26 to 30,000 acres. And now that man, who is now deceased, still has land that's not been developed. His dream was huge, but his capacity was small. One of the problems or challenges that we face as entrepreneurs, as business owners, business leaders, is that we run out of capacity. When there's stress in the business, when there's stress as an entrepreneur, it's usually one or two problems. A, you don't have the systems, or B, you have a lack of capacity. That is a spiritual law. And I often compare spiritual laws or look for evidence of spiritual laws in nature. You take a shark, put it in the fish tank, it gets this big. Take that same baby shark, put it in the ocean, it gets this big. Before you dream, or right after you dream, the first thing you do is you begin to build your capacity. Before you build up, you gotta build down. Thank you. Play to win. Bye-bye.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And that mission is to really empower. That mission is to provide you with all of the resources necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. So we want to thank Robert for being here. One thing I know is that every one of you out there, you all can make more money. I have no doubt. Connect with Robert, connect with these experts. You'll all make more money. But here's what I know to be true. None of you, Robert included, can make more time. So you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So we want to thank Robert for giving us his time. We want to thank him for taking time away from his family, time away from his wife for 31 years almost, time away from his business to be here with you. He has another gauge. He's like, Shay, I'm going to give you everything I got. And he certainly did. So we appreciate that. So Robert, take a moment and tell them how can they connect with you again? And then please share your final thoughts, your final comments for those folks that when these lights go off, they've got to go back and go to work. They've got to now take action based on what you share with me. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate your willingness to give. Thank you.
Again, Shane, my pleasure. And I'm lit up right now. I'm just goosebumps because when you're truly, and this is going to be my kind of final word. Remember on Facebook, Robert Riopel fan page. Find me there. But here's my final word and thought for you guys. The greatest gift I believe you can give this world is to be you, to be authentic, and to be the person who you are. Some people are going to like you for the way you are. Some people aren't. And whether they like you or not, you have no control over that. You only have control on being you. The moment you try to be someone else to please someone else, you're giving your power away. And you're making your identity based on what they think you should be. And if you want to really have the most amazing people in your life, show up as the most amazing you, and you'll naturally attract those people. One of the words that I did not like in the past, Shay, is the word guru. And you've heard that word, I'm going to guess, correct?
Yes.
And I hated that word. I hated it because I'm no different than anybody else. And I don't want to be put up on a pedestal. I don't want to be seen as like, oh, because we're no different. Maybe I have knowledge you don't have, but also you have knowledge I don't have. So we're all the same. And one day, another one of my mentors, he saw me flinch. His specialty is reading faces and reading body language. He's like, Robert, what just happened? And because someone had called me a guru, and I'm like, nothing. He's like, bull, what just happened? I said, I don't like the word guru. And he said, why? I said, because I'm just me. He said, exactly. And then he asked me to do something. And Shay, I'm going to have you do this for me.
Sure. Be happy to.
I want you to spell the word guru.
G-U-R-U.
Yeah. So I said, G-U-R-U. And he said, G. You are you. And all of a sudden that became the greatest compliment anybody could ever give me. One moment, mindset shift just like that. So be you. Be a guru. And attract the people into your life that really, truly like you for who you are. And that will be the greatest gift you'll ever give this world.
Oh, man, I love it. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. For all of you out there, I want you to know that today is your January 1st. You can be a G-U-Ru. Be you. I love that. Today is your January 1st. You can open and unlock the keys to success. And today is your January 1st. Why? Because the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life is short. Enjoy the moment and make it count. With that being said, we'll see you later. God bless. Thanks a lot, Robert, man. You're a rock star. You rock out, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you.
My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Check.
Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Damn.
Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause all I do is win, 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 win. If you're going in, put your hands. Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.